Our next and final guest of our set audience of 10. After this, it's open to you guys. People who just joined us, you can join in.
It's a bit of a coup, isn't it,
yeah. So our next guest is a very controversial figure. His appearance at the Leinster House in April was well publicised. But he's never been on this show before, so maybe we can finally get him to answer some questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, John Delaney.
You're robber.
John, very welcome.
Thank you very much. I have prepared a statement. I'm going to read out. Thank you. Deputies, Professor, Senator Mick McCarthy. I would like to address you on the issue of the €100,000 loan. On legal advice, I'm precluded from making any further comments in the hearing in relation to the finances of the association or my former role as Supreme Leader VP CEO of the FAI. In the interest of fair procedures and natural justice, while I've made this statement to the Four Provinces Committee, I have attended this meeting voluntarily. I am not in a position to answer any questions here at this time. I would like that the Four Provinces Committee respect this position. I am, as you know, passionate about football and always have been. I am currently working on a bid to get Gary Twigg and Cristiano Ronaldo into Johnny Blues Bar, which I think would provide thousands of euros in revenue from autograph signings. I have my legal advisor here, Pajo, who will handle any questions that may arise about my former position. However, I am more than happy to answer any questions in relation to my current role as a freelance Football Association advisor, a job which began about an hour ago. So thank you.
So John, you're very welcome. You're very welcome to the Four Provinces, and normally it would be Johnny Blues, but tell us, have you heard much about Tifty's podcast? He's consulting with his advisor.
I refer to my earlier statement. I can't
Okay, I mean, Mr. Delaney, you've obviously made your statement there, but there's so many things we need to ask you. There was a series of revelations made about your finances. So what's the real story behind the €100,000 loan? Is it true that has something to do with your divorce?
It is all mouth. I refer to my earlier statement. I can't answer any questions here at this time.
What about the story that came out recently that the FEI funds were used to fund your extravagant 50th birthday bash?
For the record, he is referring to his financial advisor, Pajo Flynn. Legal and financial.
As I said before, I refer to my earlier statement. I can't answer anything at this time.
So, nice weather we've been having the last few weeks, eh?
Once again, I refer to my earlier statement. I can't answer any questions at this time.
Well, what can we talk about then?
I have a great interest in Love Island, Mala, the political ramblings of Noel Chomsky, Instant Whip.
Mr. Delaney, I mean, why can't you just be truthful for once? Like, you've been under intense spotlight for the last few months, and you've arrived here today looking rather weary. You're a bit dishevelled, if you don't mind me saying.
Were you on the sesh last night? I mean, it seems.
You see, just to.
Nobody's seen you for months. Nobody's seen you for months. Where have you been the last few months?
You see, this is the problem, especially with the media. People like yourself, they vilify but there's a person behind those stories. There's a person that has feelings, and those feelings get hurt. I've been in a very dark place, almost a vacuum, a black hole, where the colour has been drained out of my life completely, and that has an awful lot of psychological torture on a person. A very, very dark place indeed.
Jeez, that sounds awful. Where were you?
I had an apartment in Dundalk.
Sounds like
Which
everybody.
I paid for myself, by the way.
Sounds like everybody has abandoned you, even Healy Ray.
Well, there he is outside there. Helium Ray, as I like to call him, because he's full of hot air. Okay, typical Kerry man, no backbone, no hair, curly teeth, no time for him. But I would like to say that I've got many irons, irons in the fire. That's the word, especially out in the Middle East. A great footballing market emerging there. They're not so caught up in the red tape or human rights and stuff. So it's pretty much like the FAI. I went out to Kabul and talked to the Afghanistan nannies about setting up that fell through. But believe it or not, I'm presently in talks. Well, I was until the media stuck their aura in with ISIS. They'd seen how popular the Poland-Ukraine joint bid, Japan, Korea. They had the same idea. There was three lovely fellas, three brothers. What was their names? Their names was Hu bin Fartin, Yu bin Fartin, and then the other one was Ashit Madrawers. Lovely fellas. Unfortunately, Abu Balghadi, the supreme leader of ISIS, he got wind of how things were running, how we did things in the FAI, and apparently, as bad as they are, they're not as bad as the FAI. So that fell through. But if I may, I want to go on the record and say there's one person that stood by me through all of the golden handcuffs, handshakes, innuendo, innuendo, all that kind of stuff. And that's my partner Emma. So I just want to say thank you for that.
No, John, that's not Emma English. That's Emma Wheatley. That's not your girlfriend.
I've alluded to that, and as I said, off the record, on the record, if I may, I've had a word with the lounge girl. She sent over a JD and Coke from this JD and his yours.
Right. Another story that came out in the media was the cyber attack on the FEI. So were you affected by this at all?
Well, I think once anybody hears about compromising information being leaked, there's only one thing on your mind, and that's the nudes. So that's what I'm worried about at the moment. I'm
so tell us, whose nudes had you got on your phone?
Oh, all John Delaney. And a couple of Liam Brady, but that's... He's bigger than you think. See them do it.
And finally, Mr. Delaney, you once famously called the League of Ireland a problem child. So why did you say it, and do you see now why it pisses off so many people?
Well, again, I've prepared a statement in regards to this because again, it's something that's taken out of context completely. I never saw myself as a father figure of the FAI or the League of Ireland. I was always more of a fun uncle. A funkle, if you will. I always viewed the League of Ireland like an annoying niece or nephew. You know, the type of people that take off their shoes and slide around at a wedding. They're not yours. You can't slap them, but you'd like to. That's kind of how it is. But I would like to say, before I became Supreme Leader, VIP, VP, CEO of the FAI, the association and the league wasn't in great shape. I made some subtle changes in the background that even though they're in the background, had a massive impact front of house. Okay, at the time, crazy prices supplied the toilet paper, which is one ply. I successfully negotiated a deal with Andrex for 3 sheets. Now, you can see that made a notable difference in the gait of the players entering the training pitch and onto the field. You'll testify to this. Before I took over, there was a real danger, a serious danger, that most of the games we played in the car park of an Atlantic home care. But many people don't know is it was myself that took out the Lego bricks, and I made up a rough draft of the redevelopment at Lansdowne Road. I took that to the FAI and the IRA, the IFU, the egg ballers, and that started the ball rolling. And finally, there's that fateful night in Poland when I went out to join the fans, I had 6 cans of Carlsberg with me. I gave away 4. That's the type of person that I am. I wore my tie, round my head, Rambo style, and unbuttoned the 2 top buttons of my shirt. And it should be noted that when I went out there, the song that they were singing was John Delaney, I used to be a wanker, but I'm all right now. And it's things like that. As I lay down on me, beside Emma, on the cotton sheets, with a belly full of caviar, it's those things that make me realise that my time at the association was a great success. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to say my side of the story, and I appreciate that very much.
So a round of applause for John the saviour of Irish football. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Very kind of you to come in.
I'm going to
So,
give the title Getting the Bit 1997.